had you have my heart. All you're looking for is me. Can't tell me what you need. Boy, you know just who you are. Hold my hand, don't go too far. All you're looking for is me. Can't tell me what you need. What you babe, 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 what you need, babe, babe. Tell me what you need, babe, 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 what you need, what you need.
I don't know who's Margot.
Economic growth and sustainable development are important issues for social prosperity. Sustainable development strives for moderate and responsible use within the economic activity of the limited resources of our planet, whereas economic growth does not limit the resource exploitations and energy, being mainly focused on productivity increased. The environmental sciences have documented large and worrisome changes in Earth systems, from climate change and loss of biodiversity to changes in hydrological and nutrient cycles and depletion of natural resources. These global environmental changes have potentially large negative consequences for future human well-being and raise questions about whether global civilization is on a sustainable path or is consuming too much by depleting vital natural capital. The increased scale of economic activity and the consequent increasing impact on a finite Earth arises from both major demographic changes including population growth, shifts in age structure, urbanization, and spatial redistribution through migration and rising per capita income, and shifts in consumption patterns such as increases in meat consumption with rising income. At the same time, many people are consuming too little. In 2015, 10% of the world's population live in extreme poverty with incomes of less than $1.90 per day. In 2017, 821 million people were malnourished, an increase in the number reported malnourished compared with 2016. This is an urgent need for further economic development to lift people out of poverty. In addition, rising inequality resulting in increasing polarization of society is itself a threat to achieving sustainable development. There are some goals to achieve sustainable development. First is eliminating poverty. Next is eliminating hunger, achieving gender equality, and last, reducing inequality. The discipline of economics arguably should play a central role in meeting the Sustainable Development Challenge. The core question at the heart of sustainable development is how to allocate the finite resources of the planet to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. A central focus of economics is how to allocate scarce resources to meet desired goals. Indeed, a standard definition of economics is the study of allocation under scarcity. More specifically, economics studies the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services which are both a key driver of development and a main cause of current changes in the world system. Economic, combined with the existing sciences, is a crucial for understanding both positive and negative impacts of technology and the trade-offs. Economics combined with other social behavioral sciences is crucial for understanding how it is possible to shift human behavior toward achieving sustainable development. Economics has well-developed fields in development economics, ecological economics, environmental economics, and natural resource economics, with large bodies of research relevant to the Sustainable Development Challenge. the application of the economic principles and empirical findings should be a central component in the quest to meet the aspiration of humanity for a good life given the finite resources of the earth. Indeed, an extensive body of work by economists provides key insights into aspects of sustainable development. At its best, this work integrates work by other natural and social sciences into a policy-relevant framework and demonstrates the rich potential for collaborations among economists, natural scientists, and other social scientists on sustainable development challenges. For example, economists have developed economic and climate models to address important climate change policy questions, such as how fast greenhouse gas emissions should be reduced. Environmental economics deals with expertise and use of environmental policies through theoretical and empirical study. Environmental economics developed in its present form in 1960s as a result of the intensification of pollution and the heightened awareness among the general public in Western countries about the environment and its importance to our existence. Economists became aware that for economic growth to be indefinitely sustainable, the economic system needs to take into account the uses of the environment that we have already mentioned, so that natural resources are not depleted and so that the environment is not overused as a waste sink. The growth of environmental economics in the 1970s was initially within the neoclassical paradigm. In general, this approach to the environment is concerned with issues of market failure, inappropriate resource allocation, and how to manage public goods. There was little concerns for the underlying relationships between the economy and the environment. Concerns about the limits of this approach to environmental economics led some environmental economists to develop what is now referred to the environment. The lack of involvement by economists in ongoing discussion of sustainable development leads to gaps in understanding production and consumption decisions. The resulting market outcomes that drive global environmental change and how to regulate or reduce negative environmental impacts from economic activities. Achieving sustainable development requires institutions and political alignment that go well beyond assembling the science knowledge arising from integrated scientific knowledge. Given the large role of economic activity in causing rapid change in Earth systems and the scale of the sustainable development challenge, there is an urgent need for more rapid integration of economics into the current sustainable development. Economic policy refers to the actions that governments take in the economic field, covers the system for setting interest rates and government budget, as well as the labor market, national ownership, and many other areas of government interventions into the economy. Policy is generally directed to achieve four major goals: stabilizing markets, promoting economic prosperity, ensuring business development, and promoting employment. Sometimes, other objectives like military spending or nationalizations are important. Economic policies are very important in order for us to live sustainably and abundantly. Thank you.